You're listening to only the best internet radio station in the world. No, the universe.
Well, hello there, and welcome to episode 2 of SOS Radio with Arnold the Alien. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, that's right, this is the second episode of a long-running series. I hope you're all doing well. I hope your projects are thriving. I really hope things are going good for you. I'm sure it's a wonderful day today as you listen. I do hope so. And I just hope, once again, everything is going great and your team is doing swell and all of that. Well, let me just say, I'm very excited to answer this episode's questions. That's right, we have 3 more questions as we always do in these episodes. 3 questions. And remember, if you want to give in your questions, just send them through. Maybe even comment them down on this video, and I'm happy to answer them. But that's why we've got 3 brand new questions to answer. But before we do, we have to mention our long-term sponsor, folks. That's right, the same sponsor of last episode, Glorgan Tubes. That's right, Glorgan Tubes, the best product in the field of its kind. If you want 30% off Glorgan Tubes, just put in down Arnold30. That's all you gotta do, Arnold30, and put that on the website for glorgantubes.org. Well, I think it's time to get straight into it, and let me tell you, we have a banger of a first question, a wowzer of a first question, and straight to the point. How do I tell a group member that they suck respectfully? Wow. How do I tell a group member that they suck respectfully? Well, that's hard. Wow, that's a toughie. I mean, I always say this, group work and who you are in a group, it really determines your class and how you feel in the subject. And it's something I'm sure all of us have felt, that we've had someone sucky in our group. I mean, I'll be surprised if nobody's ever had a sucky person in their group. But to be completely honest, wow. Well, let me tell you, let me think about this. Well, I think, and don't take this in the wrong way, I think what you got to do, and I think this is always helpful for me, because I felt the same way with many group members in the university that I go to, I gotta say, the best thing to do is look introspectively. I think you gotta think, how do they suck, and why do they suck, and what do they do that makes them suck? And it's good to go, well, look, they suck, but do they mean to suck? That's the question you gotta ask, is do they mean to suck? Do you honestly think that they're purposely being annoying and purposely trying to suck? And as soon as you think through that empathetic viewpoint, it really helps you to go, well, maybe there's just a few things they could change. And if I just let them know in a positive way, not in a condescending attack way, if you just, oh my God, is something going on outside? Sorry if you're hearing noises, there's some stuff going on outside. If you just stop and go, well, maybe there's something they're trying to do. Maybe they're not trying to be mean. Maybe, they're just built that way, that they seem like they suck. And that way that can lead you to, when you have to inevitably confront them on their behavior, to go, look, I know you mean good by what you're doing, and I know you mean well, but it comes off this way. If you look back and go, look, this is, they suck this way, but I know they don't mean it, then it makes it easier to talk to them and call them out on some things. And it always helps if you go to your group. If you go to your group and maybe text them individually, do what you need to do, and just go, hey, do you agree that so-and-so is just a little bit annoying, or so-and-so is acting a certain way? Do you feel this way? Do you feel like it's impacting the group? And if everybody's saying yes, then maybe it's a good idea to, as a group, just call that person out on it. But always, and I mean this always, do this through an empathetic viewpoint, in a viewpoint that you're not trying to, make them feel bad, because you're never going to get the best results if you just try to make them feel bad. But always try to talk to them through an empathetic viewpoint and understand why maybe they're being annoying. Now, that being said, if you try to think and go, why are they being annoying? If it purely is because they're just trying to be annoying, well, then you just got to call them out straightly and just tell them, straightly, is that a word? I don't know. And just tell them, hey, we just don't appreciate the behavior. But I think always look introspectively and see, is there a reason they're acting the way they're acting? Do they mean it? And always try to look for the good. Don't be combative. Always try to look for the good. That's what I would say. That's my viewpoint. I hope that's helped. But yeah, that's what I got to say. Now, we got a second question, and this is just a very simple question, but I think it's an important question. I'm happy to go through it. Is when is A2? When is A2? So that's assessment 2 for IIP. And this is a timely question. And this is quite a relevant question because right now is A2. I mean, for the past few weeks, up until week 7, I think right now you might be listening to this in week 6 or listening to this in week 7, depending on the time. But right now is A2. And if you don't know, I mean, I'll tell you what A2 is. I mean, A2 is essentially, as stated by, the assessment notification, it is just your contribution to innovation culture and the TD community. So it's what you can bring. It could be anything. It could be initiative. It could be whatever. That to improve, the TD community, those within the transdisciplinary community of BCII. And, I've seen so far, I mean, there's already been some stuff that's been around. I mean, to give a little shout out, I mean, I saw this wonderful spot in the studio room that was a zine making place where people can make zines and put it in to like a little folder of some sort for people to walk around and grab and look at other people's zines. And I think that's such a wonderful thing to do. And these could be maybe helpful zines. It could be whatever, but it's a great creative way for you to take a break. I think that was a wonderful thing. Another group member that I saw did a special thing where it was like a quiz or something. It was a quiz where you could, answer a bunch of questions, and then at the very end of the quiz, figure out what kind of archetype you are and get like a song recommendation and just learn something about yourself as a TD archetype. I thought that was very cool. And it was kind of through like a quest kind of lens. So there's lots of stuff you could do. I mean, you could do a karaoke thing. You could do a Kahoot quiz. You could do lots of different things to try to improve the TD community. And I've seen some wonderful things. So feel free to just keep on thinking and be creative with it. But that's the stuff that I've seen. So when is it though? I mean, when's the exact dates? Well, the last date you can do one of these things is in week 7. And I'm pretty sure that the due date is May 4th. Or was it May 3rd? I think it's May 3rd. I'll double check for you. But that's just a submission essentially with like video evidence, photo evidence, whatever you can to show evidence of your contribution. And it's like a 1,000-word report or something for you just to talk about, your contribution that you did. So you include your documentary evidence. You put in an explanation of why you undertook that action. So, why is it important? Why is it important to add to the community and cohort's needs? Why does it attack the community and cohort's needs? No, attack, I mean help. Because it's important to go that it needs to be relevant. You need to have, helping the community and cohort. So that's that. And lastly, what have you brought to this contribution as an emerging transdisciplinary professional? So this just essentially means, what have you brought through your own stream? So whether you're a business student, a communications student, an IT student, what have you brought from your own stream? And just in general as a TD practitioner as well, to this contribution. What have you done on that, in that way? But essentially, I'm just double checking for you now. The assessment is due on the 4th of May. That's right, the 4th of May at 11:59 p.m. And I'm pretty sure, is that a Sunday? I'm pretty sure that's a Sunday. I'll double check for you. I'm pretty sure that's a Sunday. That's a Sunday. So that's when that document is due. Essentially, that is when that document is due. That's essentially that. So I hope that's been able to help you, student. I hope you are now more prepared with your A2. There's a week and a bit for you to make a contribution, and I hope it's a wonderful contribution. I can't wait to hear about your contributions. I really cannot wait. So there's that. Well, that's the second question answered. I hope that was helpful. I really do hope that was helpful. And now moving on to the last question, and I am blushing. My gosh, I can't believe anyone noticed. But I'll answer the question either way. It's very nice. It's very nice. The question is, love the sheen of your skin. Thank you so much. Drop the skincare routine. Oh, the skincare. Okay. Oh, okay. I've never done this before. But I'll happily tell you Okay, well, if I'm going to think back, it's just a morning skincare routine I do every day. Well, the first thing I do in the morning is I hop out of my hydro chamber. So, which you may not know about this, but the Globins, my race, we basically lay in a hydro chamber. It's not a bed per se. We do lie down during the times where we don't wish to move about, but we don't sleep. We kind of just lie down and stare out on the wall, and we just stare there as we kind of preserve our body through the hydro chamber. But after that, we just once in the mornings come, or whenever we want to get into work or do whatever we do, we step into the bathroom and we spread some gripple paste across my cheeks. So, my all over my face, my cheeks, and then I begin to yell. That's right, I begin to yell as loud as I can, and to basically awaken my inner swinkles. That's right, my inner swinkles need to be awakened. So I just yell after I've just spread the paste, and I yell. And, once that's done, not once that's done, while I'm, after I'm done yelling, I basically, and once all the swinkles are open, I brush my mouth with a proton stick. That's right, I brush it and do what needs to be done for dental hygiene. We all got you got toothbrushes, I have a proton stick. That's essentially how that works. And I'm just brushing it around, and then once the gripple paste would have sinked deep into my skin, I finish off my routine by dunking my head into Glorgan juice. That's right, Glorgan juice, straight from the Glorgan tubes, which is our sponsor. So I'm very thankful that we've been sponsored by Glorgan tubes, because I am a customer through and through. But that's essentially what we do, is we put our heads into the Glorgan, juice, and that's how we get our shine. That's how we get our shine. So thank you so much for asking. That's essentially it. That's all we do. Glorgan tubes. Glorgan tubes. Well, that's it for the questions. And I'm very thankful for these questions. Let me tell you, very thankful. I've had a lot of fun answering these questions. I hope you've enjoyed hearing these questions. But before I say goodbye, of course, we have a little segment coming up. And yes, we have some segment on the polls. The current polls in Australia, as far as I've heard, the current polls of Australia, and from actually, my race's biggest fortune teller who's able to predict the future and tell you who the upcoming prime minister is. Well, here to talk is Bazoo, who is going to be the prime minister of Australia. Oh, okay. Oh, I never. Okay, well, I mean, I can see that. Look, that's how it. Okay. Wow. Well, look, that's not really going to affect me, but for you Australians, I hope that helped. I really hope that helped, and yeah. Wow. Well, there you go. That's it. I can't tell if that's a good result. I can't tell if that's a bad result, because I quite frankly know nothing of your politics. But that's that. And, let me tell you, this fortune teller has never been wrong. So that's the truth. That's the truth. No lies there. Well, that about wraps up this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I hope you'll be able to stick through this series to episode 3, which is also out right now. And, yeah. Please, and remember, if you want to be in this show, if you want your question answered by me, Arnold the Alien, send in your questions through the chat, through the comment section, or on the Instagram that we have. Check out the Instagram that we have. Send in those questions, and yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for listening in. And, yeah. I'll catch you in the next one. Oh, and before I say goodbye, remember that in this studio, we have Arnold the Alien's awesome advice dispenser for you to get your own special advice. Alright, just remember that. And that should also give you links to whatever else I'm doing. And thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I hope to catch you in the next episode. Okay. Goodbye. See ya.
You're listening to only the best internet radio station in the world. No, the universe.